Hello, I'm David Kerr and you're watching Shalom World News. Here's your latest headlines from around the globe. Pope Francis will lead a global rosary rally this Saturday to ask Mary, the Mother of God, for her protection and deliverance from the COVID-19 pandemic. The Holy Father will pray his rosary from the Vatican Gardens beginning at 5:30 p.m. Rome time. At the very same moment, many of the most notable Marian sanctuaries across the world will join the Pope in prayer. These include Lourdes, Fatima, Luján, Milagro, Guadalupe, San Giovanni Rotondo and Pompeii. The event is organised by the Pontifical Council for Promoting the New Evangelisation and will be streamed live on the Vatican website and social media platforms. Gathered at each site will be those most affected by the present pandemic, including doctors, nurses, pharmacists, civil defence volunteers, as well as those who have recovered from COVID-19 or have lost loved ones to the virus. Nearly 40% of young people in America say they are praying more since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. That's according to a new survey commissioned by the conservative organisation Young America's Foundation. The fieldwork was carried out by polling organisation Echelon Insights. They spoke to 1,600 high school and college students between the ages of 13 and 22. In response, 28% of students said they are now thinking more about spiritual matters than before the outbreak of the pandemic. Meanwhile, 80% of respondents said they were worried about friends and family members contracting the COVID-19 virus. The US government is urging the United Nations to remove the provision of abortion from their COVID-19 global response plan. In a strongly worded letter to Antonio Guterres, the UN Secretary General, the acting director of the US Agency for International Development, John Barza, says the UN should not exploit the present health crisis to advance the provision of abortion by labelling it as an essential service. The US government is also warning the UN not to impose abortion on nations that don't want it. Bishop Mark Davies of Shrewsbury in England says the unstinting service given by healthcare workers during the present COVID-19 outbreak has transformed what he calls the cruel effect of the global pandemic into a great example of self-giving love. The bishop made his comments upon Ascension Thursday last week during a mass offered for the frontline workers of the UK's National Health Service and other healthcare staff. Bishop Davies highlighted the service of what he deemed the hidden workers of the NHS, such as volunteers, cleaners, shop and transport staff, and praised them all for having the same desire to serve as doctors and other staff who are on the medical front line. Meanwhile, the bishops of England and Wales have expressed disapproval for a new law that will see medical professionals presume consent for organ donation on the part of a deceased person unless that person had explicitly stated otherwise during their life. Up until now, the opposite has been standard practice. The new law came into effect on May 20th. In response, the bishops have warned that a system of presumed consent risks taking away the right of the individual to exercise such a significant decision for themselves and therefore potentially undermines the concept of organ donation as a gift. They've now issued guidelines on how Catholics can actively opt in or opt out of the organ donation system. The pontifical charity Aid to the Church in Need are to provide emergency support to families in Syria who are adversely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. The aid package is worth over $500,000 and includes food baskets, face masks, sanitisation items and other COVID-19 protective equipment. So far, Syria has reported 70 COVID-19 positive cases and 4 deaths. There's growing concern, however, that a major outbreak of the virus is imminent in a country that has been ravaged by civil war for the past 9 years. Aid to the Church in Need say their support package will particularly help Catholic, Orthodox and Protestant communities in towns and cities affected by that civil war. Finally, over 500,000 people have taken part in this year's March for Life in Mexico, albeit digitally. The pro-life rally on May the 23rd was held online this year due to COVID-19 restrictions and drew in 500,000 participants to its website and social media platforms. The digital March for Life featured support from Mexican actor and producer Eduardo Verástegui, the popular singers Emmanuel and Dulce Maria, and the renowned pro-life advocate Liana Reboledo. That's all for now. Do join me next time on Shalom World News. Until then, may God bless you. Shalom.